What's up, everybody? Welcome back to ITG Daily, the show where we bring you the hottest news, and it is April 1st. I'm Drew, and that is Scott Savage. Scott, what's happening today, man?
Oh, I'm excited. We're into a new month, a new list of games, and a lot of news coming out.
Just like that, we're in a whole new month. Like, where did March go? It was just here, vanished.
It flew by for me as well.
Just so much on the go. And of course, if you want to be a part of our show, then join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, or hit us up on Twitter at theofficialitg, hashtag ITG Daily. We're there. You can submit your questions as well as insidethegame.ca or in our Discord channel. You can also catch this on podcast services around the world, YouTube, and OTT and streaming services around the globe. Heck yeah, Agent Howell has joined us. What's happening, my brother? Well, Scott, coming up on today's show, we have God of War teased, XCloud is back in the news, and some more Marvel's Avengers. It just doesn't seem to end. I kind of like it, though, man. I gotta be honest. It's kind of there. It's lingering for me, man. It's still kind of lingering. I like it. I like it. But let's get started.
They're holding on. They're playing their cards.
They are. They're playing my card, man. They've always got me lingering there. But it's very, very cool. Scott, there is news this morning over on Twitter from Sony Santa Monica stating that the next God of War is coming. They took to Twitter to say, prepare yourself, the storm is coming. God of War Ragnarok coming exclusively to the PlayStation 5. Watch the premiere of the official announcement trailer, followed by a deep dive into the world of the game with Cory Barlog. Dude, here's the catch. Are you ready for this? It's April Fools, man. There is no game announcement coming. We know it's called Ragnarok. At least that's what it's been stipulated to be called. But it's fake. And when I saw this morning, my heart kind of dropped because I need to get back to God of War to finish it first before this one comes out, man.
Just a little reminder. It's time to finish that up.
Absolutely. It was a bit of a heartbreak to see. But yeah, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? But they did this last year too. So can't really say we're all that surprised. The game will be released when the game is done. I don't think we'll see it. I guess my real question is, Scott, when do you think we'll see God of War Ragnarok?
Oh, that's a hard question because I believe the new God of War is now at least 2 years old. I might be a little off on that, so I'm not exactly sure.
It's even older than that.
Is, but it's a large game, and they're AAA. They're AAA, heavy. It's loaded with great graphics and a lot of things in a big world. So I can imagine that this sequel will be quite a long time in development, if I had to guess. Because these games don't come out every year, similar to what we saw with Assassin's Creed. Those people can just churn them out. Yeah. But when it comes down to God of War, there's far fewer, which makes me believe that it's still several years out. But they wanted to respond to some of the hype surrounding the name. Sure. So it's a good sign in my mind because it's God of War. The series is not going anywhere.
No, the series isn't vanishing at all, right? The latest God of War had a huge impact on the industry, and honestly, it changed my outlook of God of War. God of War completely changed the game from what we saw on the PlayStation previous titles, right? Like PS3, PS2. And then you see the new iteration hit the PS4, and it really changed Kratos to the fact that it made him look almost kind of human instead of just this war-raging, screaming god coming down to rip everything to shreds. He has a heart. He has a son in this one, which really kind of plays on your heartstrings as you progress through the story. We were streaming this live for a while, and then a bunch of things got flipped up, and I had to put the stream on hold. But this is definitely one I need to go back. I got to finish it. But dude, it is so cool what they've done with God of War. And I think the initial shock of what they changed with Kratos and the fact that I said like they brought the son into play too, it captivated a lot of people, and I think it made new fans of God of War.
Yeah, I can see that because it really shook up the formula of what it used to be. Instead of being such a heavy action third-person game, it still is, of course. Sure. But there is this human element to it. I like the idea that they've added some dynamic changing to Kratos as a character. I think that was underutilized in the past. So I think that's really interesting. Now, I'm just hoping that his son and any attempt he has of putting together a new family, I hope that turns out better than it did the first time.
Yeah, we will see when Ragnarok comes. But if I'm guessing, I would think 2, maybe even 3 years out still at this point.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think I wouldn't really start looking for it until about 2023.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Marvel's Avengers is back again. As I teased, they keep kind of just roping me back in, but there's some confusion over on their Twitter feed. On their Twitter account, they said, we'll be announcing the Red Room Takeover event this spring. Features rewards like animated nameplates, outfits inspired by the MCU, and a deadly new harm room, plus more secrets to decipher. Now, the biggest thing is, Scott, that they didn't touch on the fact of, well, they had to come back to Twitter because they had to clarify that the outfits inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be available exclusively in the marketplace for purchase. Everything is not exactly clear here with what they're stating. They said when they first announced it that it was going to be here, everybody's looking for the MCU skins, right? But I did not expect these to come for free. I was expecting a payment of some sort and not be cheap either.
Yeah, they are in a big way apologizing. They're in a big apology phase right now, it seems.
Yeah.
But you can't expect too much in the way of free content. I know they're updating the game constantly, so they are working at it. But yeah, you kind of, to be expected a little bit, some of these aesthetic kind of DLCs. It makes sense that it's an in-game credit. Now, I just discovered recently that there's actually a Marvel series of Star Wars comics, and I'm really waiting for those two to mingle, because I think at the end of the line, eventually this Marvel game is going to have to pull from somewhere, and the Star Wars universe.
You see a crossover?
Interested in the game.
You see a crossover between Star Wars and Marvel's Avengers? I don't know about that one, but we'll see. It would be an interesting twist. You never know. Right now, they are in this whole galaxy, so I guess the windows are open for anything at this point. But yeah, the skins are coming. They didn't really state it, but they had to come back, apologize on Twitter, and say, yeah, you have to purchase these skins. There are certain skins that hit the marketplace, and you can only buy those skins. Otherwise, you can earn in-game currency and start upgrading, purchase other skins that way. But yeah, these ones, if you're gonna want the latest Iron Man actual from the universe, then you're gonna have to purchase that one. No big surprise. I can't say I'm shocked, but I'm curious to see which ones they do bring, because they never even touched on what outfits we will be getting yet. So it's going to be announced hopefully in the spring. But what was announced was yesterday. Xbox starting today is announced. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members in 22 countries can now play 16 original Xbox and Xbox 360 titles via the cloud on Android phones and tablets. With more to come, of course. Members will be able to play a range of games on mobile, from original Xbox titles like Elder Scrolls Morrowind to the 360 hits of Banjo-Kazooie. Gesundheit, Scott. I'm going to call you on that one, buddy. Fable 2 and Fallout New Vegas. Touch controls, which will make easier for gamers to jump into the game without a controller, will also be enabled for such titles like Jetpack Refueled, Viva Pinata, and Viva Pinata Tip. Bringing these titles to the cloud is another big step in our continuing journey to preserve gaming's history. This was in my press release this morning, and that right there tells me that's a shot at Sony, man.
Yeah, I felt that one.
Didn't you? Like, that was, yeah, that's a big no, Sony, we are preserving over here where they are not, because like we touched on not too long ago, PS3 stores are shutting down, PS Vita and PSP stores are all closed. So that's I read that this morning, that that's definitely a bit of a jab for sure.
A little bit of spice put in at the end.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the backwards compatible games that are coming and coming to XCloud are Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Double Dragon, Neon, Fable 2, Fallout New Vegas, Gears of War 3, Gears of War 4, Gears of War Judgment. That one's gonna hit or miss title depending on who you are, and if you like that one. I heard mixed reviews. Jetpack Refueled, which features touch controls, Cameo, Perfect Dark Zero, Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, and Oblivion, Viva Pinata, and Viva Pinata Tip. Each of those will have touch controls. I like that they're bringing more of these titles back, and they also had an interview with Craig Duncan, the head of Rare, over there at the studio, and he had this to say as they interviewed him. Xbox Wire asked, how important is backward compatibility in terms of preserving video game history? Scott, like their first question was just a shot right there. Craig Duncan, it's essential. There are just a bunch of inherent complexities when generations and platforms change, and being able to relive games you played previously and fondly remembered is important. Dude, that's just it right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they're embracing their history.
Well, and they nailed it with the Perfect Dark. I read Perfect Dark on that list, and anytime I read those two words together, I get excited because it brings back the memories of the 64 days, and I love those games. he's right. He's onto something there. If you have the ability to put it in and play it again, you may, and that it brings extreme gratification.
No, absolutely. It's funny to see the two different perspectives, right? Xbox going in the fact that they want to take every game almost that they can and bring it with them, where PlayStation is like, nah, nobody plays these games over here. We're just going to shut them down. It is fascinating to watch these two companies head in different directions. It kind of reminds me when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 was announced. PlayStation was all about games and sharing, and Xbox One was like, no, you have to have an online account, and it's all TV, esports, TV. Like, it was Call of Duty. Or, like, it was just two different perspectives. We come back, we're in a whole new generation. Now Xbox, again, in a different direction of what PlayStation is doing, and the fact that they're preserving the history of their legacy. And that is a huge move, because what happens with all these games, Scott? It is something that should be remembered, something that should be taken into account when you have these opportunities, because all these games are just going to go, because we are going so digital, will just disappear on the PlayStation 3, PSP, PS Vita, and PlayStation Portable, right? Like, it's nuts to me.
Unless somebody comes out, as Rare did, and puts together a Rare, package and kind of re-releases in that way. But that's a lot more effort, and it has it could just miss. It could not land on audience and just be a big waste of time for them. So, yeah, I'm rather happy to see that they are keeping the backwards compatibility as a selling point. I agree.
Yeah, it's a selling point, but from PlayStation's perspective, it's a business move, right? If they're not selling, why have that open and costing money in the end? So if they could save that, preserve that, maybe put it into God of War Ragnarok, maybe that is the better move.
I like that they're moving in two different directions, though. For now, we have two companies opposed forever, eternally opposed.
Yeah.
And now they're going in two different directions. I think that's interesting because it has a chance of shaking up the industry entirely.
No, for sure. Absolutely. New games come out to Xbox Game Pass. Things to check out here are Undertale, which is coming to the cloud, console, and PC. Empire of Sin is cloud, console, PC. Nier Automata is on PC. Star Wars Squadrons is on console. Torchlight 3 PC. Genesis Noir console and PC. Octopath Traveler is console and PC. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Ultimate Edition is on PC. Man, the games keep coming. Superland PC is an ID at Xbox title. Yakuza 6 The Song of Life is cloud, console, and PC. Natara Boy is cloud, console, PC. Outriders is out today, of course, on cloud, console, and PC. Dude, Game Pass is such an amazing feat. And there's somewhere around like 20 million users now. That thing is unstoppable.
That is insane. Just imagine the income that they see on the other end of that. Those numbers are giant.
Yeah, no, those are massive, massive numbers. Here's a little PSA on Outriders. There's been a bug that has been reported, so keep an eye on a bad day mission. Crashes on receiving rewards. Devs are aware of the occurrence. It's due to the Hell's Ranger pre-order gear in your inventory. Quick solution though is to put it in your stash, so that way when the bad day mission is completed, that actually won't crash your game. So there's something to kind of take note of. Scott,
and day one on a game, so you got to give it a little bit of some room, but it's good that they've addressed it immediately.
Well, it is a standard thing nowadays though, right? Like that's the biggest thing. It's every new game comes out with a day one patch. So, you know, they can't finish everything, I guess, but what happened to the days, Scott, where a game was just done? Man, like I was talking about this last night with my girlfriend. And then back in the day, yo, when you played Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, you were done. That game was it. That was it. It was finished. It was shipped. There is no updates. There's no DLCs. There's none of that, right? It's funny how far we've come with the use of the internet.
Yeah. It's good in some respects, but it does water down some things in other respects.
Well, it's just it, because no game is ever now finished, right? I guess in the end, no game is ever finished, because there's a timeline that you've got to go, that's just it. We can't keep going, right? We have to get the game out. They have to produce it. They have to make their money back in order to keep it going. Things along that line, absolutely understandable. But at the same time, man, those were some weird days now compared to what we deal with now. There's no doubt about that. Scott, let's move on to The Witcher is actually done filming. The filming has wrapped up according to their Twitter feed, and that's all they put on Twitter, man. I was excited to see it though. Right? Like, did you watch the first season?
I have, yeah, and I'm excited to see if season 2 continues the way they were going, if it picks up, what kind of action they're going to bring. I enjoyed the first season, and I think the character choice, I mean the actor choices and everything worked out really well. This could be something good.
No,
and if they're showing that filming has wrapped up, there's still some time, some editing. I'm sure there's a lot of work to do still, but they wanted the fans to know it is still happening. In the world of closures, delays, and shutdowns, there is this coming. That's good to know.
That was very good. I enjoyed the first season. I thought it was great. I thought it was a little slow to get started, but once you kind of got in the middle of things, it really kind of picked up the pace and started going. Henry Cavill was fantastic as The Witcher. A bit of a surprise, I think, that they picked him at all to be as Geralt. But, dude, I thought by the end of it, he really kind of nailed the game itself. And it's we touched about the game being remastered and brought over to the next-gen consoles here in, I think it was spring they talked about yesterday. And it just... watching the series made me want to go back to play the game. I never did get back to it just because of how busy we were, but it was still one of those things always in the back of my mind, like, yo, that's a game Stranded on a Desert Island, Scott. That's one of my picks. Dude, what would you pick on a desert island?
Oh, I'd like to keep my mind positive and bring Zelda the Wind Waker with me.
Nice touch.
Just cruise the ocean from the desert. I mean, there's something sick about that, but at the same time, positivity.
Oh, that's great. Let's keep going with the Switch then, shall we? Because Fortnite on Nintendo Switch is getting a significant upgrade that will improve the Battle Royale's game overall graphical appearance, according to Epic. They announced this on Tuesday. As of today, a new update for Fortnite on the Switch is upgrading the resolution and frame rate on both docked and handheld. Handheld mode is moving from 1000 by 560 to 1170 by 660. So it's got a small upgrade, right? And then the resolution on the dock is going from 1390 by 780 to 1560 by 880. So there's something, if you're playing Fortnite over on the Switch, it should be a little bit nicer and a little bit smoother for you. Scott, do you ever play Fortnite on the Switch?
I did a little while ago when I took some time off of the show. I did actually use the Switch to play Fortnite exclusively, and that was I was very happy to have that. Actually, that was a great gift at the time, and it was all the Battle Royale I needed to keep me going. But there was a little bit of graphical, just kind of not clear. The frames would drop occasionally, that kind of thing. So it's nice to see them just put a little bit of an upgrade where they could.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see that it's still there. It's honestly, we play on the Switch here all the time. So we got both consoles going. We'll have my PC going and the Switch. There'll be all four of us over here playing Fortnite at once. It's a blast to play. And Corey and I took a look at Apex on the Switch. Dude, Fortnite is just the better game on the Switch. It runs smoother. It looks better. Everything about it is just the way to go if you're looking for a battle royale on the Switch. We got some more game announcements, though, Scott. As revealed during the Blackwood chapter preview event, Bethesda is very excited to announce the Elder Scrolls Online Console Enhanced next-gen version coming to the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 on June 8th. Those who own or purchase Elder Scrolls Online on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One will receive the free access to the enhanced version. That's nice touch. You're starting to see a lot of that switch over.
Yeah, and I like that just free upgrade thing. You've already owned the title for a while.
Yeah.
Let's just bump that up a little bit. I enjoy that. And the game is a little aged now. If you were to jump into Elder Scrolls Online, it looks a little dated.
Yeah.
So this is a welcome change. I like that.
No, it's definitely cool to see. Like we touched on this yesterday. For some reason, we were talking about this yesterday. And the fact that I just can't get into the game. I want to. I just can't. It just doesn't seem to hook me. It's a little unfortunate because, yo, man, we new enhancements too is coming. This is going to be so cool. And the audience there, like the community is massive in this game.
Oh, yeah. And there's a large PvP element that's quite active all the time. So. Oh man, I can't believe that it's actually persisted as long as it has.
Yeah, they just keep coming out with more and more content, so why not? And now they're going to make it even better for next-gen consoles. And what you've seen now, though, Scott, is this movement from, if you own it, you can just carry it with you. Where before, if we went from PS3 to PS4 or Xbox 360 to Xbox One, there was like, no, you have to purchase that again. You know, a la GTA. How many times I own that game? You know, it's just, I didn't take it with me. I had to buy it again, and I did, and then it worked. Right, that worked. That's a Nintendo mentality right there.
There's the record stands. It's got to be either GTA 5 or I'm struggling to remember.
Super Mario does it too. Mario Brothers
or Skyrim.
Yeah.
Which one have you purchased more? Yeah. Which one are you going to buy for the Samsung smart fridge first?
Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. If you're looking to get into a restaurant management sim, well, then look no further than Recipe for Disaster is announcing it's coming later to PC this year. That's
I got a shiver in my spine. My old life.
Yeah, the old Chef Savage. We're talking about now it's April, so that means PlayStation Plus games have been announced. We're getting Oddworld Soulstorm on the PS5. We're getting Days Gone on PS4 and Zombie Army on PS4, The Dead War. Scott, you and I played Zombie Army 4.
Yeah, and let me just be the one to say, out of character a little bit, PlayStation has nailed this. This month is quite a heavy release. Oddworld Soulstorm, that is a big release for a lot of people. Days Gone, that is one of the must-have titles, I would say, of the PS4 era. That if you're into zombies, that's one of the ones that you're going to be drawn to for sure. And if you're just a little drawn to zombies, Zombie Army 4 is also very interesting. Now, you can check out our review. We actually have that. We've done a review on the show for Zombie Army 4. And personally, I enjoyed it. I'll give that away. So I see this as quite a good grab if you have a PlayStation.
No, it's definitely a good month. This is a strong month for PlayStation. You know, we can kind of go back and forth each and every month and take a look. And some months are a lot weaker than others, but this is a good one. Days Gone is one of those sleeper hits. The community, you know, started off a little weak on it, but they've really kind of grown and fell in love with the game overall. I think Sony Ben has done a great job over here. I had a good time. I reviewed the game on the show as well, so you can check that review at insidethegame.ca. But it was cool. It's definitely worth checking out, especially now on if you have Plus, it's free. You can get that starting on Tuesday, April 6th, and will end on May 3rd. Now, let's get into pre-orders, Scott, because Chivalry 2 is coming to consoles. Pre-orders are available now. The cross-play is closed. The beta for April 23rd to April 26th. So you have 3 days. The Chivalry 2 is a multiplayer first-person slasher inspired by epic medieval movie battles. Players that thrust into the action of every iconic moment of the era, from clashing swords to storms of flaming arrows sprawling across castle sieges and more. Dude, this game looks cool. The beta is out there. Head to chivalry2.com, I would say. I didn't put that in here for some reason, but the official game comes out on June 8th. Are you excited for that one?
I am. I jumped headlong into Chivalry, the first one. As soon as I had a PC that was capable of playing anything online and reliably, I jumped right into Chivalry. I sort of saw it as a medieval take on Call of Duty. And that's kind of a cheap read of the game. There's a lot more to it than that. But that's just what got my foot in the door. Sure. And I totally got into this game because it has a low entry but a high ceiling where you can get into the game, you can have fun just throwing your swords and just kind of some buffoonery. But if you want to be the sword master, then you have a lot of these skills, utilizing your weapons and your shield, switching weapons, knowing when, and just there's a lot to it. It gets almost to the level of For Honor.
Oh, cool.
Where you can just duel with people and it's that adversarial. I really got into Chivalry. I think the second one is going to be great. Now, several years on, there's a lot of improvements, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Agent Howell says he's digging it with the swords. It's amazing. He was jumping into the alpha today. He said it's a great time. So something we should check out. Scott, we played this one a while ago. We reviewed this one on the show as well. But now Maneater is getting some DLC. Yo, can you believe this? This is awesome. The team has been hard at work on Maneater Truth Quest. We're excited to announce the first details on the downloadable content that so many fans have been asking for, said Sean McBride, creative director at Tripwire Interactive. We're aiming to give players more of what they loved from the original Maneater with the ability to grow bigger. Dude, we get to massive. So let's get into some of the things that they've actually stated that's coming. So new evolution set, maximum level cap increased to level 40. Do we end at level 30 or level 20? I can't remember.
I think it was 30.
Okay, so we're adding 10 more levels, right? 5 new organ evolutions and 1 additional organ slot is unlocked at level 40 with a maximum size. New wildlife, new military forces for bounty hunter systems, new objective types, and all kinds of stuff to do. Dude, this game is awesome. It's $14.99 for the DLC. It is... I don't see what it's coming out, though. That's too bad. I should find out. Okay, Scott, game, dude, I am pumped for that. Like, how excited is this going to be? It's good. You just said you actually just deleted this off your console. We now have to get back into this game, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sweep a few other things off the hard drive to make room for this game again because I yelled out loud. I exclaimed when I heard of the DLC coming because I've been waiting for. Well, since the game released, basically, I've been waiting for any and all new content to come to that game. I am a huge fan.
Absolutely.
This will have me re-downloading the game, starting a whole new file if I need to, and climbing all the way up to 40 because my shark was big already. I think I want to put that game away as the Megalodon. Well, so that's my goal.
You 100%ed the game already on Xbox.
Yeah. I crushed it.
Dude, the game is so cool. But Scott,
I enjoyed it the whole way through. It wasn't even a drag to get through the kind of final last few percents. It was a joy the whole time.
Yeah, it had a good progression system, right? So in the game, it was just cool. I had a hiccup, which seemed odd. Remember when I was actually reviewing the game, it would crash my console, and we couldn't figure out why. And I was back and forth with Tripwire for days going, hey, like I'm crashing for some reason. And they're like, we don't know. I don't know if it was just my Xbox or what. But then after a while, dude, it just something healed itself and I was good. My shark was all over the place and it got huge. And now we can make it even bigger. Dude, I'm all over this.
Oh, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't we wrap it up with Scott? What games are coming out today for April 1st?
Well, today we have a few titles, a little more
light.
relaxed than yesterday's releases, but
Yeah.
that's just the way they go some days. We have Dungeon and Puzzles making its way to the Switch. Then we have Achalasia to the PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Then Train Station Simulator coming to the Switch. This one's interesting. I've got my eye on this one, Drew.
Oh, do you really? I saw it yesterday too, actually. I might take a look. I'll see what I can do for us.
And then we have Resident Evil 7 making its way to the Stadia. And as we mentioned earlier, Outriders is out today for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Stadia.
Yeah, that game is everywhere. And the coolest part is, dude, it's completely cross-play with every single platform. So no matter who picks it up, where you pick it up, you can hang out with your friends and game on Outriders. I think that's a nice touch. Something we're starting to see a little bit more of, but not a lot of. So very cool. Well, buddy, this is it. That is ITG Daily for April 1st. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. And of course, you can always be a part of our show. All you have to do is hit us up at InsideTheGame.ca, over on Twitter at the official ITG. And of course, join the Discord where there you can submit your questions and we'll read them out loud and be a part of the show. So until tomorrow, everybody, thank you. Oh, PSA for tomorrow is we're off tomorrow because it's a holiday. So until next week, everybody, thanks again. And we'll see you inside the game.